Hello everyone, I will present our field visit to Lihini Group, a company located in Cotoneri and Negombo. This presentation is for our entrepreneurship module. It's about what I learned when we visit their factories and interviewed their director. Let me start with the introduction. The purpose of this field visit was to connect what we learn in our lecture rooms with what actually happens in a real business. We study many entrepreneurial theories in our modules, but this field visit helped us to understand how those theories really work in practice. The organization we visited was Lihini Groups, which was founded in 1990 by Mr. Vincent Ernest Fernando. It was 35 years back. Today, it has grown into a large diversified conglomerate. What means by diversified? It means they operate in many different areas, not just one. They now have over 250 employees work for them and they generate more than 4 billion rupees in annual export revenue. That's a huge amount of money they earn by selling products to other countries. The company operates in four key sectors, which you can see on the slide. First one is seafood. They process and export seafood. Second is agriculture, mainly coconut products. Third is packaging. They make styrofoam boxes and plastic bags. Fourth is hospitality. They run hotels. During our visit, we did several activities. We toured the coconut processing factory and saw both wet and dry sections. We observed how they recycle plastic in polybag facility. We reviewed their styrofoam operations to understand how they make packaging boxes. And the most importantly, we interviewed Mr. Malinta Fernando, who is the director of the company. He shared many valuable insights about how they built this business. Now let me explain how Lihini Group identifies business opportunities. This is called entrepreneurial opportunity recognition. They don't just randomly start new businesses. They systematically identify gaps in the marketplace where there's a need that nobody is fulfilling. The first opportunity is market identification. Look at the graph on the slide showing the swordfish price. They recognized that there was a higher demand for premium seafood in European Union. For example, swordfish was selling locally in Sri Lanka for only 300 rupees, but in Europe people love swordfish and pay much higher price. Through their export operations, the local price has now increased to 2000 rupees per kilogram. This shows they understood the international market better than others. The second opportunity was supply chain. They identified that depending on external suppliers for ice and packaging was creating a bottleneck. It was slowing down their businesses and costing them money. So, what did they do? They decided to create their own internal ice factories and EPS styrofoam factories. Now they control their own supply chain. They don't have to wait for others or pay high prices for suppliers. Third is sustainability alignment. Modern consumers, especially in Europe, care about a lot how the fish are caught. They transitioned to something called long line fishing, which is better for the ocean environment. And they obtained the Friends of Sea certification. This certification proves to customers that they fish in an ethical way that does not harm the ocean. This opens doors to premium markets where customers are willing to pay more for sustainable products. The fourth opportunity is value added innovation. They worked with Wyoming University for 3 years to develop fish sausages. Now you might think, why is fish sausages difficult? The challenge was finding the right binding agent. something that holds the fish meat together while keeping good flavor. After 3 years of research and development, they succeed, and now they can sell this premium product in European markets. Now, let me share what I observed at their coconut processing facility called Lihini Nature Products. You can see on the slide their main products. They make export quality virgin coconut oil, that's VCO, and coconut flour. You can also see the images of desiccated coconut, coconut chips, and coconut flour. When we toured this facility, we saw they use vacuum cabins during the filling stage. What is a vacuum cabin? It is a special chamber that sucks out all the air particles before they seal the bottle. Why? Because the air around us contains microscopic contaminations, tiny dust, bacteria, fungus that we can't see but can spoil the product. The vacuum cabins remove all of this, keeping the coconut oil pure. The process is split into two sections. First is the wet section, where they deshell the coconut and remove the outer brown skin. This is called paring. Second is the dry section, where they actually extract the virgin coconut oil from the dried coconut. They have a zero waste model. What does this mean? After extracting the oil, there's a leftover material called oil cakes. Instead of throwing it away, they convert these oil cakes into coconut flour. So nothing is wasted. Everything becomes a product that they can sell. Now let me tell you about a specific detail I observed during our visit. They use firewood boilers that burns 6 kilograms of wood per hour. That's about 2 tons of wood per day. This is actually very cost effective compared to electricity or gas, and the fire is a renewable energy. They package 98% of their products in glass bottles, not plastic. Why glass? Because it is premium positioning. When customers see the glass bottles, they think it's high quality product and are willing to pay more. Also, virgin coconut oil solidify below 22 degrees Celsius, and glass handles this temperature change better than plastic. They have sterilization ovens that operate at 200 degrees Celsius. This extreme heat kills all microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, everything, ensuring the product is completely safe. And all the workers wear face masks during production. This is contamination control, preventing any bacteria from human breath from getting into the product. The second factory we reviewed was Lihini EPS. EPS stands for Expandable Polystyrene. That's the scientific name for styrofoam. You can see in the image on the slide what their styrofoam boxes look like. They use these for specialized food and industrial packaging. This factory is a perfect example of what we call backward integration in business. What does backward integration mean? It means instead of buying something from suppliers, you make it yourself. This factory was established in 2007 specifically to reduce the cost of seafood packaging. Before 2007, they had to buy expensive styrofoam boxes from other companies or import them. Now they make their own, saving a lot of money. They use Taiwanese vacuum assisted molding technology. Taiwan is famous for manufacturing technology. This technology gives their styrofoam boxes two important properties. First is high shock absorption. If you drop a box, the fish inside won't get damaged. Second is thermal insulation. It keeps the cold inside so fish stays fresh. The strategic role of this factory is critical. On the slide you can see they call themselves the cold chain guard. What is a cold chain? It's the system that keeps food cold from the moment it caught and produce until it reaches the customer. If the cold chain breaks, if the fish get warm, even for a short time, bacteria grows and the fish spoils. Their styrofoam boxes maintain this cold chain integrity for 175 tons of seafood they process monthly. They also serve external markets selling boxes to electronics companies that need protective packaging. The third factory we observed was Lihini Polypack. Look at the slide, you can see the number 200 degrees Celsius. This is the temperature they used in their processes. Let me explain what they do here. The core business is making LDPE flexible packaging and something called ethical sheets. LDPE stands for low density polyethylene. That's a type of plastic. Iticola is what we in Sri Lanka call those plastic sheets. The technical process is interesting. They heat plastic to between 160 and 200 degrees Celsius. At this high temperature, the plastic becomes cream like soft and moldable, like thick cream or a paste. Then they can shape it into whatever form they need. They use two production methods. First is blow molding, which they use for cellophane type materials, thin transparent plastics. Second is water assisted expansion, which they use for thicker LDPE sheets. In water assisted expansion, they use water pressure to expand the hot plastic like a balloon. What impressed me was their sustainability commitment. You can see on the slide they recycle 70,000 kilograms of waste polythene per month. That's 70 tons. And they don't just recycle once, they reuse the same material up to 10 times before it can no longer be used. This dramatically lower their raw material cost and help the environment. Now look at the growth story on the slide. In 2014, when they started this factory, they had only two employees and one staff member. That's a total of three people. Today in 2025, they have over 50 employees. That's incredible growth in just 11 years, from three people to more than 50. And they won the recognition for their excellence. They received the CNCI National Award in 2025. This is a prestigious national award in Sri Lanka. Now, let me discuss how they manage their resources. Resources are what a company needs to operate: money, people, and equipment. We assess three types of resources. First is financial resources. That's money. How do they get money to grow their business? The director told us they manage growth through high trusted banking relationships and strategic loan repayments. What does this mean? They borrow money from banks to buy machinery and expand their businesses. But the key is they always repay the loans on time. When they repay on time, banks trust them more. And in the next time they need money, they are happy to lend to them again, because this trust is very valuable. Second is human resource. That's people. Look at the growth number on the slide. In 1990, they started with only 25 employees. After 35 years, they have over 250 employees. That's 10 times more people. The Polypack factory alone grew from 2 employees to 50 employees in just 11 years. Their strategy for human resources is interesting. For coconut processing, they use a machinery focused approach because machines are more efficient for repetitive tasks. But for seafood processing, they use a labor intensive. because handling fish requires a human judgment and skill to ensure the quality. You can just you can't just let a machine handle fish. Human needs to check the freshness, smell, color and the temperature. There's also been a leadership transition. The director, Mr. Malinta Fernando, used to work in operations doing the daily work. Now he has moved to strategic roles, planning the future of the company and making big decisions. Third is operational resources, that's equipments and systems. They have 175 ton monthly processing capacity. That means they can process 175,000 kilograms of seafood every month. This is supported by modern multi-day fishing vessels. Multi-day means these boats go out to sea for several days, not just one day. All vessels have VMS tracking. VMS means Vessels Monitoring System, GPS technology that tracks exactly where the boats are at all the time. Innovation means creating new thing or doing something in a new way. Competitive advantage means what makes you different than other competitors. Let me explain three areas where Lihini Group innovates. First is product research and development or R&D. Look at the slide. They had 3-year collaboration with Walmer University for the fish sausage innovation. 3 years is a very long time. This shows they are committed to long-term product development, not looking for quick results. The director told us developing meat sausages is easy, but fish sausages uh, are very challenging because finding the right binding agent is difficult. After 3 years of research, they succeed in creating a fish sausages with the taste good and the right texture. Now they sell these in premium European market. Second is traceability. You can see on the slide 100% computerized system for production flow to final packaging. What is traceability? It means you can track exactly where the product came from and where it went. Every product has a barcode, those black and white lines you can see on the products. They scan these barcodes at every stage when the fish comes in, when it proceeds, when it packed, when it's shipped. So if there is any problem, they can trace back exactly which port caught the fish, which worker processed it, which box it was packed in. This gives customers confidence in quality. Third is their global edge through highly hygiene standards. Look at the certification badges on the slide. You can see HACCP, BRC and FDA logos. These are International Food Safety Certifications. HACCP stands for Hazards Analysis and Critical Control Points. BRC is British Retail Consortium. FDA is a US Food and Drug Administration. Getting these certifications is very difficult and expensive, but they enable exports to 13 countries. Without these certifications, you cannot sell food products to countries like USA, UK, and European Union. So these certifications are not just paperwork, they are strategic tools that open doors to premium global market. This slide shows the entrepreneurial theories that I observed in action during our visit. In our modules, we read about these theories. But during the field visit, I saw how they actually work in real business. First, Shane and Venkatraman's theory says opportunities come from market gaps. I saw this when they identified the eyes and packaging need and created their own factories to fill those gaps. Second, Kersner's alertness theory talks about entrepreneurs who notice opportunities others miss. The swordfish arbitrage is a perfect example. They noticed swordfish was cheap in Sri Lanka but expensive in Europe, so they started exporting. Third, effectuation theory says good entrepreneurs make deliberate, calculated decisions, not impulsive ones. The director's quote on the next slide demonstrates this perfectly. Fourth, Potter's differentiation strategy means standing out from competitors through quality. Their quality certifications HACCP, BRC, FDA differentiate them from other seafood companies. Fifth is open innovation, means collaborating with outside organizations. Their 3-year partnership with Wyoming University for fish sausages development is open innovation in practice. Sixth, resource-based view says competitive advantage comes from controlling valuable resources. Their vertical integration, owning fishing boats, processing facilities, and packaging factories gives them this advantage. Seventh, triple bottom line means measuring success in 3 ways: economic, social, and environmental. They achieve economic success with 4 billion rupee exports, social impact through 250 jobs, and environmental responsibility through recycling and sustainable fishing. Now, let me share what I learned about leadership and resilience from interviewing Mr. Malinta Fernando, the director. His decision style is logical, data driven, and non emotional. What does this mean? It means he doesn't make decisions based on feelings or gut instinct. He looks at data, numbers, fact, information, and analyzes everything logically before deciding. He doesn't let emotions guide his decisions. Look at the director's quote in the box on the slide. He said, and I'm quoting his exact words: I don't make quick or impulsive decisions. Take time to think, help reduce serious mistake. This quote is really captured his leadership philosophy. He believes in patience, in thinking carefully before acting. Many entrepreneurs want quick results, but he understands that taking time to analyze prevents costly mistakes. His risk attitude shows persistent through failure. He openly told us about an unsuccessful venture they tried in steel industry. The steel business failed. Instead of hiding his failure or being embarrassed, he shared it as a learning experience. He called it time lesson. They entered the steel industry at the wrong time without enough industrial experience. The important thing is he learned from this failure and applied those lessons to future ventures. Now, let me talk about resilience. Resilience means the ability to survive difficult times and bounce back. Their diversification strategy proved critical during COVID 19. When the pandemic hit in 2020, tourism in Sri Lanka completely collapsed. Their hotel business suffered badly. Hotel revenue went down dramatically. But here's the key: because they diversified across multiple industries, they survived. While hotels were down, their EPS and polypack factories continued operating because supermarkets and manufacturers still need packaging. So, the lesson is clear. Diversification into industrial sectors like EPS and polypack acted as a buffer during COVID 19 tourism collapsed. A buffer means protection. When one store or one sector fails, another sector compensate. This is sophisticated risk management. This is the most important slide because it shows how this field visit changed my understanding of entrepreneurship. Before the visit, I had three wrong ideas. You can see them on the screen. First, I thought entrepreneurship equals having a good idea plus getting funding from investors. Second, I thought success comes quickly if you work hard. Third, I thought if a company operates many different industries, it means they lack focus. They don't know what they want to do. But after experiencing Lihini Group's operation and interviewing the director, my understanding completely transformed. First, I now realized entrepreneurship is about systematic opportunity recognition over decades. It is not about one lucky idea. It is about systematically looking for opportunities year after year and decades after decades. They didn't become successful overnight. It took 35 years of persistent effort. Second, I learned that success equals 35 years of persistent learning. Learning never stops. The director still learning, still adapting, still improving. Success is not a destination you reach quickly. It's a long journey of continuous learning. Third, and the most importantly, I learned that diversification is a sophisticated risk strategy, not a lack of focus. The proof is right here. During COVID 19, hotels went down, but supermarkets went up. So their overall businesses survived. If they had focused only on hotels, they would have gone bankrupt during the pandemic. Diversification saved them. Look at the powerful statement at the bottom of the slide. Let me read it for you. From a single rice mill to 9 subsidiaries, from 25 to 250 plus employees, from local operations to 13 countries, this was 35 years of systematic entrepreneurship looks like. This summarized everything. In 1990, they were just a small rice mill with 25 workers. Today, they have 9 different companies, 250 employees, and they export to 13 countries around the world. This didn't happen by luck or by having one good idea. This happened through 35 years of systematic strategic entrepreneurship. Before I finish, I want to express my sincere gratitude and thanks to several people who made this learning experience possible. First, I thank our dear lecturer, Ms. Niranjala, for organizing this kind of field visit, and I want to thank Mr. Malinka Lakshan Fernando, the director of Lihini Group. He spent hours talking with us, answering all our questions, even sharing information about their failures like the steel business. His transparency and the honesty made this a genuine learning experience. And also, I thank the entire Lihini Group team. The workers in the coconut facility showed us the wet and dry sections and their processes. The Polypack team explained their recycling operations step by step. The EPS facility staff demonstrated their molding technology. Everyone was patient with our questions and generous with their time. Thank you for giving us this valuable operational insight that we could never learn from our modules alone. This field visit has been truly impactful for our understanding of entrepreneurship.